Hey YouTube, I'm Kyle Kittleson with MedCircle. I obviously have Callie, the lab, here to my left, and I am with double board certified psychiatrist and MedCircle doctor, Dr. Dom.
Kyle, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for doing this video with us. We're talking about a few different things in this video, specifically though, the signs of psychosis and what a psychotic experience feels like, because during our filming of our series on psychosis, it really was crucial for supporters, those who are supporting a loved one who experiences episode of psychosis, to really understand what those people are feeling like.
Yeah.
Because if you can understand what they feel like, you'll have a better ability to interact with them.
Yep.
So before Dr. Dom goes off and starts educating us, I know, I want to ask you, the viewers, a question. What type of content do you want to see from MedCircle? We post many videos right here to our YouTube channel every single week, but what do you want to see? If you tell us, we will make it. So we'll be looking forward to your comments below. Dr. Dom, what are the signs of psychosis?
So psychosis, in and of itself, the definition of psychosis is a breach in reality. So Kyle and Callie, people that are experiencing psychosis are experiencing the world very different than you or I or the majority of people. Their senses are picking up things that aren't real, but it's real to them. That's the important thing. So psychosis entails delusions, and the definition of a delusion is a fixed false belief, but a very strong fixed false belief. All right, ready?
Yes.
Kyle, what color is your shirt?
It's gray.
I need to tell you something.
Okay.
This is very, very important.
Okay.
Your shirt is pink. I'm telling you that your shirt is pink. What color is your shirt?
It's gray.
Well, it's not. It's pink. And where are we right now?
We're on one of the MedCircle sets.
And where? In what state?
Oh, in Carlsbad, California.
Well, listen, I want to tell you the truth that we are in New York City and we are in my apartment.
Wow. Okay.
No, really. We're in my apartment. Your shirt is pink.
Right.
And we're in Manhattan.
Right.
Do you get it?
I don't agree with you.
But it's true.
Okay. I feel uncomfortable because it's clearly not true, but you have such conviction behind it.
But my point is, if I'm speaking to someone that has a delusional belief, okay, your shirt would really be pink, we'd really be in Manhattan, we'd really be in my apartment, but you're like, no way.
Yeah.
My reality is your reality. You're saying my reality is telling me that we're on the MedCircle website in California. And you believe it as real as reality. Okay, but that's my point. So that's a delusion, and that's psychosis, and that's what it feels like to have a delusion. You believe it. It's real to you.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's not consistent with the objective reality of life, right? So when someone's having a psychotic episode, they will believe something, and the truth is that was very simple, you know, a color of a sweater and a location. But people that are having a psychotic episode may sincerely believe that I'm reading your thoughts right now to control your mind, but believe it so much the same way that you believe your shirt is gray. Like that's a delusion.
Yes.
All right, so that's what it's like to have it. It's so fixed.
Yes.
All right, now the other thing is a hallucination. I mean, a hallucination is hearing something. So the way that you're hearing my voice right now, if I just said, so Kyle, I'm talking to you, but I'm not, right? So I'm talking to you right now. What did I just say?
I'm talking to you right now.
I never said that. You heard it. I never said that.
Oh, I see what you're saying. it would be as though the clarity in which I heard you say that is the clarity I would hear it if it was just in my head.
That clear.
Yeah.
That clear. So a hallucination or an auditory hallucination, your brain is perceiving sounds and conversations and people talking to you that aren't there, but you hear it the same way my voice is talking to you now. As a matter of fact, there have been studies, PET scans, MRIs, active positron emission tomographies, that it shows the areas of the brain light up when someone's experiencing a hallucination, very similar to actually hearing something.
Yes.
Right? Fascinating stuff.
So they can have these auditory hallucinations, these visual hallucinations, of course. What about tactile hallucinations?
Right, so that's part of it too. So hallucinations can be any of the 5 senses, right? So tactile is touch, gustatory is taste. You know, I've experienced in my practice or in the hospital, people will say everything I eat tastes like X, whatever, fill in the blank. And they believe it, everything. And that's a gustatory hallucination, right? Olfactory hallucination is a smell. And sometimes it's mood congruent, meaning it's associated with what's going on. Like, you smell the smoke? You smell the smoke? The house is burning down. I smell it. You don't smell it? I smell it, right? They're really smelling it. Right. The brain is tricking them.
Right.
But I do want to say this. Olfactory, which is a sense of smell, gustatory, which is a sense of taste, tactile, which is the sense of touch. You don't see that so much in psychosis, but you do see the auditory hallucinations so much more. You can have those other perceptual, we call them perceptual disturbances, but for the most part, it's auditory hallucinations and sometimes visual hallucinations.
So what does someone do when their loved one is in that acute state of psychosis?
Yeah, it's such a good question. So we talked about in the series that there's various stages of psychosis, right? The prodromal phase, the active phase, and a resolution phase. When somebody is in an active phase of psychosis, would it really, let's use the example that we just did, right? Would it really make sense for me to try and argue with you about the color of your shirt?
Absolutely not.
Or the location?
You're not going to change my mind.
I'm not going to change your mind, right? And I think that's a really good example because when someone's experiencing acute psychosis, it's real.
Right.
I'm not going to talk them out of it. So loved ones, family, supporters, caregivers, if someone is experiencing a psychotic episode, there's no need to try and talk them out of it. You're not going to fix them. And I see that with loved ones because they want to fix you.
Of course.
Maybe it's coming from a good place. Kyle, no. Your shirt is pink, man. I got to shake you out of this. And you're not going to do that. So caregivers, be supportive, be caring, be calm. Think about how you are going to get that individual to the next step, which is help.
Yeah.
That's the strategy.
Yes.
You're having an acute psychotic episode. How do we get you help?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to get on the phone with your doctor.
Right.
I may get on the phone with some supporters, that therapist or doctor, whoever's caring for you, to discuss with them what's going on.
Right.
I may have to get you over to the medical hospital, call an ER.
Yes.
But the safest way I can do that and the calmest way that I can do that is the best way I can do that.
Yes.
Right? I'm not going to cure your psychosis by myself, trust me.
That's right. In this series that Dr. Dom and I just filmed on psychosis, we really go through the entire storyline of this symptom. We talk about specifically the different causes of psychosis and how to rule those out. We talk about the different phases of psychosis. For example, we, in this discussion, have really been talking about acute psychosis, when you're really in the middle of the most severe symptoms. But there are other phases to look out for, and what I really liked is the phases that can and often do come before the acute phase, because if you can catch it early, that's when you're still able to talk to somebody and find some common ground and hopefully make a good next decision. And then we also, Dr. Dom provided a lot of supporter strategies. If you have someone in your life, whether they have schizophrenia, whether they have periods or episodes of psychosis every now and then, this is the series for you. This series will really open your eyes on what you need to know and what you can and should do in all of these different circumstances. Let's give them an inside look to this series right now.
When someone's having an acute psychotic episode, as an outside observer, it can be really, really scary. It can be uncomfortable, obviously. You know, as a psychiatrist, I see this so often that you're sort of desensitized to it, and we know that, you know, we avoid exacerbating the situation by speaking calmly and trying to be as supportive as we can, and dimming the lights and reassuring them, and not trying to talk them out of their delusions, right? Because that's not going to solve anything. And I think sometimes what I see is family is so concerned that this person is talking nonsense that they feel that it's their duty to somehow set them straight. I'm going to fix you. Kyle, what you're saying is not making sense. Shake it out. You know, and you have to really remind families, you're not going to talk them out of it. They believe that, or they see those things, or feel those things, or hear those things as real as I am with you right now. So, Kyle, That pillow next to you is black.
Well, it's clearly red.
It's black.
The pillow?
But seriously, the pillow's black. It is. It's black. You need to know that. Do you know that?
Well, it's red to me.
Make sure you know, but it's not. You're wrong.
Right.
Just know that it's, okay, so
You're
that's
not
my
gonna
point.
convince me.
My point. I'm not going to convince you, and that's how real a delusion or a hallucination is to somebody experiencing psychosis.
Yes.
So instead of even talking about the pillow, we're just going to make sure you're okay. We're going to make sure you're eating and resting, and maybe I can give you some medicines to help you relax. And we're going to dim the lights, and we're going to, get you in a supportive, comfortable environment. Okay. And I ask families and caregivers and supporters to sort of act the same way. Don't make it worse. Even though sometimes they have the best intentions.
Of course.
They have the best intentions, right? And I think it's because they don't understand how ingrained some of those psychotic feelings can be.
You can watch that entire series and more, of course, at MedCircle.com. A huge myth. I came up with this earlier today.
Yeah.
People are misinformed, but they're also myth-informed. And a huge myth about psychosis is that person cannot be helped.
Right.
They are done for.
Totally not true. Completely and utterly not true. And, I think this series is going to inform people too and educate people on the various causes of psychosis, because there are so many things that can contribute or cause psychosis that a lot of people don't know, don't realize.
Genetics, environment.
Medical problems, environmental stuff, medicines, drugs, all of these things can cause a psychotic episode. And the truth is, each one of those sort of has a different prognostic outcome and even maybe different treatment approaches, right? But the point is this: even in severe psychosis, even in chronic schizophrenia, there can be significant improvement if treated appropriately.
Yes.
And remember that statistic, only 50% of people with psychotic problems seek help, right? So it's important that we know that if you seek help and the appropriate help and the right help and you're educated about it, it's incredibly hopeful.
Yes, that is good to know. And this is coming from a guy who sees people in the middle of psychosis or schizophrenia almost every single day.
Just about every day.
Yeah, I mean, so he's seen it, but he's also seen the other side of it, which is a life worth living. So thank you guys for tuning into this video. Make sure you subscribe, comment, and turn on your notifications as we release multiple videos every week right here on the MedCircle YouTube channel. I'm Kyle Kittleson. Remember, whatever you're going through, you got this. Thanks for watching. If you liked what you just saw, then why not subscribe? Click right here for new episodes and new series every week. And to access exclusive mental health videos that we only release at MedCircle.com, check out the links below.